Oh yes. Welcome to GT Autos. This is what a doozy 1929 here. Um, kind of got a little sick right now, so I'm trying to do this really smooth, really quick as possible. So, as you can tell, this is the car that we're going to be talking about. This is the Sentinel, and the Sentinel, a another example of cars that Rockstar has put out for all these years, and still it impresses a lot of people on here. So, it's also another example of cars that secretly has a lot of performance, but yet everybody's too focused on sports cars and supercars and all, just mainly supercars. This car is not a supercar, it's a coupe. I like to call it a super coupe because this thing is pretty quick around corners. So, like I do in all of my videos, give you specs, I give you history, and I give you a lot of information about the cars that I talk about on this show. So let's get started. The Sentinel is highly based off the BMW 3 Series. It's mainly based off the E93 Cabriolet. Now, the E93 Cabriolet was BMW's first lineup as a three-piece convertible roof made out of aluminum. Oh, why shouldn't I should have brought the roof down. Yeah, the BMW 3 Series had one of the first. It was the first convertible car to have a convertible folding metal roof. This was innovation. This was innovative. How you say it? It was very smart of its day. See, I would say the first car to have a metal convertible roof was the '50s Ford Fairlane, and it was a really cool car. So this is not the only convertible car with a metal folding roof. You also had, well, we're not going to get to that point yet, but it was pretty successful throughout its 2007 to 2013 production year. It was, I'm paying attention. It was better engineered. It was very popular, even with this high price tag of $50,000 at the time, and the lack of the lack of I say the lack of passenger space. It was still very popular at the time. Now, this car was competing against the Lexus ISC and the Infiniti G37 convertible. And out of all the three, this car was the most expensive, but this thing had some very good reviews. So out of the three, this car was probably the best. So what's funny about this car is this thing is really cool. Not only the fact that it is the first Sentinel convertible, but the way how its elegance, its status, its looks, just really cool appeal to this car. This cabriolet is very fun, it's graceful, and it's really powerful when it has this inline six engine. It's a very powerful inline six. This inline six produces such an elegant sound. I showed it to you during the beginning of the show. This thing has a very cool engine tone. Out of all the engine sounds in this game, this has to be the most beautiful sounding engine I've ever heard in my entire time playing this game. There's no other car compared to this engine that has this engine tone could be compared. This is a very nice engine tone. 0 to 60 in its stock form is a modest 15.6 seconds, 68 seconds, but if you just crunch that down to GTA terms, to real world terms, I would say this is around a 6.6 second car when it comes to 0 to 60. Now, I couldn't do the 0 to 100. I'm not going to do the 0 to 100 times no more. I'm just going to keep it basic with the 0 to 60 time. So this car, I would say, is pretty quick off the line. Around its superb performance and its superb looks, this thing basically has a steep price tag of $90,000. My tip to you is to find this car on the street. Now, the only downside to this car is it's pretty rare to find this particular Sentinel. And what do you mean? I see a lot of Sentinels, but you see the Sentinel XS ones. You see the ones without the metal folding roof. You don't see a lot of the convertible Sentinels being driven around Los Santos, and it's kind of a little bit hard to find when it comes to driving around in this game. It's kind of hard to find. It's hard to find. It's kind of hard to find a convertible Sentinel on the game without purchasing it. Now, don't get me wrong, you will find one eventually, but it's not about the fact that it's very fast. It's just that it's really cool to own. I've owned a lot of them. This is the first performance car I've probably owned, even though when it's a coupe. This thing is pretty quick. I liked it. I loved it, and it was really nice and it was really handy. Now, this car, I would say, is perfect for that low level who are just starting. It's perfect for the new people who are just starting this game. It's really perfect. It's performance, it's not a bad car. This thing can really get you out of sticky situations when you want it to. Trust me, this car is really handy when it comes to someone who's just starting on this game. So that's all I have to say about this Sentinel. I mean, it's not a car that I usually do because most of the cars I do are classics. But this is a nice car. I'm just gonna say it like it. It's a nice car. So I have nothing else to say about it. There's no cons about this car. The handling and the performance, it's wonderful. I would say the only con is its rarity and the price tag. That's the only con I have to say about the car. Other than that, this is a perfect car. Even though when it's smashed up a little bit, it's a perfect car. It has a convertible. It has a folding roof. It has a wonderful engine tone. It can't get any better than that. It's a nice car. This is what it dudes in 1929 here, signing off with the elegant Sentinel. See you guys in the next episode.